80 degrees and a rapid 30-mile-an-hour wind. Welcome to Riverside Stadium alongside Sam Palomino. I'm Sam Johnson, excited to be combining forces as Sam's today for the WPSL opener between KC Current 2 and FC Wichita. Sam's second full WPSL campaign, moments from kickoff for the KC Current second team. They soar in on 4 exhibition match wins. You were here for the one last week.
Yes.
4-0'd Minnesota Aurora. They look great. 18-3 aggregate score over those games. What are your expectations heading in to this summer slate?
Yeah, well, good morning, everyone. Beautiful windy day here in Riverside. I'm excited to be back. Yeah, it was a dominant performance last Saturday versus Minnesota Aurora, 4-0 win in the exhibition match. I thought the KC Current did a great job of high pressing. They forced Minnesota to make those mistakes. Minnesota was really trying to play out of the back and work their way through the middle third up to the attacking third, and they had a lot of trouble trying to get up to that attacking third. And so kudos to KC Current being able to high press and get those balls and then put some things back in the back of the net pretty early on. They scored 3 goals in the first 45 minutes of the match, followed by a PK penalty kick in the 90th to kind of get that extra insurance. So looking for them to build that momentum today versus a friendly foe down the road.
Yeah, scored the first goal of that game inside 3 minutes. So, second full season in the WPSL for the KC Current. Last full season was 2022. They won 10, drew 1. You would expect maybe a similar record this year. Ostensibly, heading in, they should be able to run the table. 6 teams in the Midwest Conference, and the Heartland Division is where they reside this year. This is the opening match of the division play for the Current. And again, 18-3 aggregate score over 4 exhibition games, running from March 21st to last weekend, May 9th, when they beat Minnesota Aurora.
Yeah, Sam, I'm interested to see today how the wind impacts the match. 25 mile per hour winds. That's going to affect the game depending on where the wind's blowing, especially if you have it to your advantage or against your advantage. So we'll see how that affects the match here on the first 45 minutes.
Players taking the field. Let's get into the starting lineup, starting with the KC Current. The back line moving right to left. Blaze Gemelli centrally, who is the captain this afternoon. Schofberger and Kirshner rounding out the back 4. Hans, Henderson, Clark in the midfield. Clark, one of the goal scorers last weekend, and up front, Hackler on the right wing, Beltran on the left, and Kafusi, the number 9. And for Wichita, Ostrander in net. Should mention Williams in net for KC. Eduardo Martins, Gomez, Putter, Abreu on the back line. Edwards, Spears, Soro in the midfield. Rios, Darby Howard up front, and Worley on the left wing. Wichita FC kind of showing a 4-1-2-3. And they will start in possession in the white uniforms. KC Current in the red. It's out early for a throw. Should have a good amount of possession in the attacking half, just on paper, the way they match up talent-wise. This one lifted into space on the right side. Early chance and shut down.
Yeah, Sam, and one thing I love is that they play very similar to the KC Current team in the NWSL. So really cool to see that the organization is just continuing to develop that talent here at this second team. So that way, when they are ready or when the time is called for their name to be moved up, they're ready to step into that organization and the style of play.
3 players on the squad have already made their pro debut back in April at the Teal Rising Cup. Gemelli, the captain, on the back line today. Clark and Kafusi as well. Helped into the middle and stabbed into the back of the net. It's Clark.
Clark wasting no time getting the ball in the back of the net.
Clark, who scored last weekend, pags one in just a couple of minutes here against FC Wichita, and it's 1-0.
Believe that was under 1 minute that we've got that goal for Avery Clark. And Avery Clark, let's not forget, she scored the game-winning goal in the Teal Rising Cup what an awesome experience for her pro debut. She's just continuing to develop her skills and really grow into a strong player.
So a perfect start. Clark, who you would expect to find quite a few goals this WPSL season, bags her first in just a minute against FC Wichita.
And that's why KC Current is so dangerous here in this attacking third. They are so high pressing. So FC Wichita has to be careful in any mistakes that they're going to make in that back third, because if not, they're taking a chance right on goal as soon as they get that ball.
And again, last week we saw early pressure from KC against Minnesota Aurora. It paid off 4-0 in their final exhibition match on Saturday. Ball rolling again. KC Current, second team, formally launched in August last year, the first NWSL club to fully form a second team. And the latest development in this whole pathway program is where we stand right now, Riverside Stadium and this whole performance complex.
Yeah, KC Current invested $52 million into this state-of-the-art infrastructure for its players and the organization as a whole. How awesome to see the leadership. Just want to give a huge shout out to them, because again, first of many is it's hard to be the first, but again, as a former women's soccer player myself, I love it, and you know, the girls, these women deserve everything, so very cool to see.
Abreu tried to nutmeg Kirshner, ends up getting dispossessed. All Putter can do is play it back. Mentioned off the rip that this is the second full campaign in the WPSL for KC Current to 2022, when they were yet truly a full second team. They had a full season, 10 wins, 1 draw was the result. Clark again, this time directly at the keeper.
Follow-up.
And the follow-up header is in. Man, just 3.5 minutes elapsed and it's 2-0 already for the Current.
Yeah, I love the confidence to take a defender on 1v1. Again, great save by the goalkeeper there. But again, that's why it's so important that your forwards are following up again for those deflections to then just tap it back into the goal right there.
So FC Wichita with a nightmarish opening few minutes. Down a pair.
Kansas City Current 2 goals scored by number 84, Avery Clark, in the 4th minute.
And that goal in the 4th minute was scored again by Avery Clark. Again, just a dominant performance by her. I've been really impressed with her intensity and just, again, confidence in that attacking third to put the ball in the back of the net.
2 goals for Clark, and again scored last weekend as well. Just a crazy force. And when she made her pro debut on April 9th against Corinthians in the Teal Rising Cup semis, scored the winner to send them to the final, which they ended up winning 6-1 over Palmeiras. So just a threat when it comes to finding the back of the net. She's got the first 2 for the Current in the WPSL opener.
Yeah, and if I'm FC Wichita, you know, you really just want to settle the ball down and try to play your game. First 5 minutes are pretty crucial, so to be down 2-0 already is pretty hard. And so just really trying to relax and play your style of play and do the small things that you know that you can do correctly.
It's going to be a hefty load of work for Putter, the captain, who just booted it out of play. And the rest of that back line, who have been exploited early. A lot of space for the Current. This one trickles past Clark. Gets it back, sends it across, poked.
Looking to poke
Free,
that back
it's
in.
Open and could not be curled around. That time from Kafusi.
And again, one of those things where keeper Ostrander making a great save, getting that ball deflected back out, but giving Kafusi a chance to put that ball in the back of the net. Ended up going just left wide, but again, just a great position that she was in. So important for these forwards to, again, follow up for that second ball. That's how goals get scored.
Kafusi's a Salt Lake City native, played a full college career for the Utes. 10 goals, a couple assists her senior season. All Big 12 second team as well. There's a lot of talented names and decorated college careers on the pitch for the Current.
My former high school coach, Travis Smith, is the assistant coach over at Utah and had nothing but great things to say about Kafusi. And so excited to see her making a great debut.
And here she is. That pass not quite on point. But again, every time KC break, it looks threatening. Dispossessed again, RFC Wichita. This one guided across, and Hackler on the back post could not quite get her foot around to it.
Just off her foot, went wide, was in the right position. Again, just kind of missed that ball right there. Hackler, one of the 2 KU commits on this team alongside Heredia Beltran. Both Sam and I are Jayhawks, so we're excited to see that there's 2 commits on this KC Current team looking to be a part of that Jayhawk team here in the next couple of years. Pressure
remains applied for KC. And for Kansas soccer, it's been a good past couple of years. Big 12 tournament champions in 2025, and this most recent season made a run in the NCAA tournament to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, and that's under new head coach Nate Lee. He's done a great job with that program, and right away made a significant impact for the better for that team. And yeah, it's just been really fun to watch again as someone who played soccer in college, and working for that university, getting to go there and cheer them on in that fall. It's just really cool. And the Big 12 championship was actually at CPKC Stadium, so very cool.
Yeah, won on a dramatic penalty in the final of that tournament. There's Hackler jostling. She's won a corner for the Current.
First corner of the game, I would say maybe at this time last week, there was probably like 5 corners.
And they
a lot of set pieces.
Scored off their first corner last week. We're up 1-0 in a couple of minutes, and today up 2-0 in a couple of minutes.
We'll see what Current look to do here. Ball
just gliding. Kirshner gets ahead to it and lofts it over.
Good job getting contact on that. Again, just unlucky ball headed over the goal.
Just to run through those exhibition results real quick. 4-1 against Miami All-Star, 5-1 against Northwest Missouri State University, 5-1 against University of Central Missouri, and then Minnesota Aurora blanked 4-0. Just a tremendous spring into summer.
First foul on the game.
Translate to this WPSL campaign. Finally, something to alleviate the pressure for FC Wichita here, so they can get it into the attacking half.
Yeah, this is, looks like the first time they've gone this far on their side of the field. Let's look to see if they have the opportunity to capitalize on this.
Soro had a chance to control in the midfield, but dispossessed by Clark, who's got the first 2 goals. Avery Clark from Tennessee. 2 productive seasons at Texas from 2023 to 2024. Lots of appearances, 5 goals in 44. All Big 12 and all Big 12 freshman team as well. But chose the KC Current developmental pathway over her remaining college eligibility.
How cool is that? That's never been an opportunity, I would say, before. So very cool to see that, there is a pathway for players like Avery Clark who are looking to get in the pro space. And again, she's just been a standout player here. And so just really cool.
Wichita give it away again. Gliding through the middle. Left-footed shot that glides over And we got clipped at the end of that extension.
Looks like it was deflected off of FC Wichita for another corner kick.
Hans that time charging through the center.
Looks like Henderson's going to take the corner.
So second corner. Again from the right side for KC.
Yeah, and they like to keep someone out on that short corner as an option. Heredia Beltran out there right now as an option for Henderson to play to as well. Ball served
Gliding
in.
ball, and that trickles all the way through. See if it took a deflection. Not quite off FC Wichita. Goal kick. Abreu plays it directly to Kirshner. Here's Clark as space and somewhat of a hesitant hit.
Again, Ostrander getting her hands on it, but deflecting it into open space. An opportunity for KC Current to put the ball in the back of the net again. Just no one there this time.
Remember that Kafusi chance, which easily could have been a third, was because she punched it pretty much right to the middle of the box for a Current player to pick it up. This one slid in the direction of Kafusi.
And that play looked like it was developing very similar to KC Current on Friday night versus Houston Dash. Michelle Cooper playing that ball into Temwa Chewinga for the 3-0 win. What a fantastic play from Friday night, and an awesome game for the KC Current against Houston Dash. 3-0 win.
Blaze had the control. Kafusi lays it off. Hans wanted the through ball there, looking for Hackler, but not on the same page. Current, if they can really break down FC Wichita, make this a fun outing. Already up 2-0. First two goals scored inside 3 minutes.
FC Wichita looking to play it short a couple of times, back and forth between the center back and the goalkeeper.
Wichita finally bring it down for some sense of control here.
Looking to build out of the back up to that right side.
Abreu trying to take the space.
Not on the same page there between her and her forwards.
Here's Kirshner. It's closed down that time by Soro. 4 Wichita natives on the FC Wichita squad. Whistle goes the way of the Current.
Decided to play that quickly. The back line and work their way up again through the midfield.
Blaze. Here's Hans. Neon bandana. Easy to spot.
Yes, I love that.
Kafusi turns, try to lay it off. No one there. First match of the WPSL season for the Current. It'll be 10 division matches for, of course, the regional and national playoffs mid to late July. Clark chasing and wins KC a throw.
FC Wichita struggling to keep possession here as they're trying to build out of the back and get into that middle third of the field.
Clark being hounded. Sliding through in the direction of Kafusi. Here's Kirshner. Poked and intercepted. Abreu charging. Wichita with a little bit of a break. So physical challenge
Very
on the
physical.
near side.
Very physical, and again, that's what you want to see. You want to see players, putting everything that they can on trying to get that ball.
Schofberger shutting down Worley, but FC Wichita awarded the free kick.
Curious to know if the wind might be affecting FC Wichita in any way. Hard to tell in the box up here which way the wind is going, but it might be.
Looks to be blowing a bit right to left.
Right.
So, and again, it is just about 30 miles an hour today, so I would imagine it has some sort of effect. Certainly being down 2-0 inside a few minutes
Good
had an
job
effect.
Good job by Heredia trying to get past both of her players right
Quickly
here.
taken by Clark, then now pulled back as Hackler was breaking.
Looks like they're calling the foul back when Beltran was going against her two players. They were trying to give her the forward possession, but bringing it back.
Just that forward-thinking current mindset right now. These two squads are part of the Midwest Conference, but specifically the Heartland Division. You've got 4 Kansas clubs and 2 Oklahoma clubs in the division.
Looks like we've got 2 subs on the FC Wichita side.
They only have a few options. So Abreu is off, so is Soro. We'll try and catch the replacements. Should be Andrada and Mendoza, the new faces. Right back is Andrada now. Kirshner easily intercepts. Acres of space for Kirshner. Cuts it in.
Great.
Kirshner cuts it back. Kirshner lifts it, and it's stopped on the near post. Ostrander holding her ground there. Kirshner taking it all the way up the
He
avenue.
was looking to chop some people up and get that ball in. Love the confidence from Kirshner, a left back, getting all the way up into the attacking third, giving herself a chance on goal.
2 headers flicked on. Schofberger has to rapidly chase it back to get it to Williams.
And that was a bit scary right there.
Looked confident, though.
Williams had to take an extra touch to play it out of the back.
Certainly not going to have too many touches today.
We sure
Hans.
hope not.
Clark can't get there.
I think that was Williams' first touch of the game, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Williams, a veteran goalkeeper, played at Eastern Michigan University, now is an assistant goalkeeper coach at Benedictine College, just about an hour down the road. So when she's not playing, she's coaching.
Kirshner, again, all sorts of space for her. Fancies a shot. This one trickles all the way through.
Goal!
And Kafusi slots it in.
KC Current 2.
And again, we've talked about it several times, even just today, but KC Current getting a shot on goal, forcing the defenders to either make a stop or a goalkeeper gets deflected, and then just an easy tap in for that goal for the Current.
Misfortune for FC Wichita, as that deflection put it on the perfect weight and platter for the 3rd KC Current goal. Kafusi picking that one up. Clark the first 2. Kafusi and Clark, 2 of the players that made their pro debut back in April. Gemelli as well. Here's Hackler, slides it, and it's stopped. Diving Ostrander. One back again. This one lifted to Kafusi. It one hops to Ostrander, who continues to be tested.
And we are in the 20th minute of the match, so a lot of time left here in this first half.
When beating up that ball.
Looks like that was a handball.
Anything to get FC Wichita forward. Seemed to be trying her luck. Did Worley.
Yeah, Worley trying to cross that ball into the 18-yard box, but ended up going right to Williams.
Also just not sure if there was an option there.
I don't think so. It seemed a little bit like they were forcing it, but I think, again, just getting excited that they're in the attacking third and maybe forcing it rather than picking their head up and seeing, hey, who can I maybe play this to or take on 1v1?
Hans didn't get a foot to that. Maybe thought she was going to leave it for Kafusi. Wins it back anyways. Now to Kafusi. Breaking again. RKC. Kafusi runs into trouble with the captain putter. Lifted to Hackler. Could be on the volley. Hackler! Down the middle.
And again.
And a fourth. And a first of the season for Hackler.
Correction, she
Offside.
did. Oh, was going to mention she did score in the exhibition match.
First of the WPSL.
Correct,
season.
correct,
But
correct.
exhibition as well.
I know it's hard not to count those games sometimes.
True. And they played well in all four of them.
FC Wichita saved by offsides here to keep the deficit by 3 goals.
It just seems on those attacks, one pass and it immediately opens everything up.
Definitely. I'd be curious to know how long FC Wichita has been training together for. Again, a lot of these players are coming from college seasons, still playing college, and curious to know how long they've been training for. That could definitely be a factor into this as well.
Kafusi picks her head up, slid across, intercepted. It's Andrade, one of the 2 subs that came on a few minutes ago. Replaced Abreu at right back. Kafusi splits 2. Centers it. Hans on the right foot. Oh, and it's in. Hans with a screamer
I was
from
not sure if that was
outside
going in.
the area. And there is the fourth now for the current. Hans collects her first of the season. Clark the first 2. Kafusi the third. And Hans approaching the 25-minute mark with the fourth. She's been a threat through the middle, the midfielder. Just gliding past everybody in that time. Had enough real estate to take aim and slotted that in.
Hans was someone who caught my eye last week in the exhibition match. Subbed on, so again, sometimes it can be hard to sub onto the field, but she made immediate impact the moment she stepped into the game. Energy, just again changing this pace of the game, and so just excited to see her in the starting lineup and again getting that goal, her first goal of the season.
Kirshner soaring through. Draws a whistle.
We've got our first yellow card of the game.
Believe they booked
Spires?
Maddie Spires there, yeah. The midfielder. Going back to Tari Hans for a second. Missouri native, also a Florida commit. Class of 2027. Attends Blue Springs South currently. It does stand out the youth on both sides and the futures these players have.
Indeed. Again, Hans not even been to college yet,
Yeah.
making her college debut. So again, just really cool to see that they're already getting these opportunities to make a huge impact in the game of women's soccer.
Hans will take this. Didn't quite put enough behind it. Wichita can push forward with a throw. And most of their forward play has been wasted. When it does open up, good turnaround Blaze, but pokes it to the back line to alleviate with Gemelli.
Gemelli, the birthday girl of the match. Today
Forgot to
is her
mention.
birthday. Happy birthday, Gemelli.
The captain, the birthday girl, perhaps destined to be on the score sheet at the end. Kirshner. So composed, and here is acres of space again for Hans. This time on the left. Hans deflects. Still in the fray of things. There's a clear and Schofberger to chase. Henderson with a slick turn. That's just past the feet.
And Sam, you see how quickly they get that ball in the defensive third and work their way to the middle. One pass, and again, they're already back in the attacking third. The ability to switch the field and switch the sections that they're playing in is just incredible.
It's impressive. The technical ability and the confidence to take that space.
And for Wichita, it's hard to defend.
Immediately one back again. Kafusi in the area. It's a good challenge. One-time hit is deflected.
Ball up in the air. Ultimately called a foul. Will be FC Wichita's ball in their 18-yard box.
Last time the KC Current 2 squad played a full WPSL season 2022. Mentioned they won 10, drew 1. Perfect 8 wins in the Heartland Division. Clark did not control. They topped the FC Milwaukee Torrent to win that conference championship in the Midwest. 7-0 was the result of that match. Advanced to the Central Regional Playoffs in Denver. Beat Indios Denver 6-1 and then fell in the final to Colorado Rapids women. Well, this is a formidable team that should be able to make a run in July when we get to those regional playoffs. Here's Kirshner.
And a great run by Avery.
And what a thread through to Clark. And then it ultimately is ruled offside.
Love the decision by Clark to try to switch where she was. Again, sometimes it can be hard as a forward. You just want to run forward, but again, those diagonal runs, making defenders have to choose whether they're going to follow you or switch them off to a different defender. It's definitely hard, and you got to make sure you're communicating if you're Wichita.
Approaching the half-hour mark, and again, FC Wichita dispossessed. Kafusi had an option through the middle, but a bit of a hesitation, plays it directly to Ostrander, the keeper. It was Heredia Beltran waiting centrally for that. Bounces over the head of Hans. Pushed on by Blaze. Fortunate 50-50 challenge. Here's Blaze. Just runs over a defender. Turned by Clark. Kafusi. Couldn't quite track it down. Ostrander comes out to scoop it up.
Yeah, the Current just looking like they're playing faster, they're quicker, a little bit stronger. Just again, all of the little things that matter, they are just really dominating at. And again, like at a 4-0 performance here, not even in the first half being done, like you're just seeing the result of what happens when an organization's committing to excellence. You know, high profile players, they want to play here and they want to be a part of what the KC Current have going on. And again, you're seeing it come to life.
You can see that over $50 million invested is working quite well. And again, 3 players we mentioned on this squad already made their pro debuts. Clark, one of them, who's got 2 of the goals, first 2. And Kafusi, goal as well, who is dispossessed by Putter. FC Wichita in possession. Good switch of play out to Andrada.
Wichita looking to build. They're in the middle third right now.
Linking some passes together. That just not on target.
And that was the right
Intercepted by
idea.
Blaze.
That was the right
yeah.
idea of what FC Wichita wanting to do, to switch the field of play out into their outside wingers. Again,
Clark.
ball just misplaced.
Clark hoping to punish. Look at all the space for Clark. Haunts hits
In the
it.
back.
And all the way to Kafusi.
Oh.
As it went 1, 2,
Wow.
3, and Kafusi the finishing touch to extend it to 5-0.
You guys might be getting tired of me hearing the word deflection, but that's been the result of all the goals today. Forwards making sure to follow their runs. People getting into the box and waiting for FC Wichita to, again, maybe make a mistake, deflecting that ball and getting the second and third touches and putting that ball in the back of the net.
Clark putting it onto the foot of Haunts, and then Haunts assisting Kafusi to give her second goal of the day. Clark's got 2, Kafusi's got 2, and Haunts has the other goal. Those 3 formidable in the WPSL opener.
And at 2 goals, you know, you're wanting to get a hat trick at that. You're hungry. So we'll see if we today get to see any hat tricks similar to last Sunday. KC Current, Timwa Chewinga with a hat trick against on Mother's Day. Just very cool to see her back in the pitch, being able to play. Again, she said multiple times she's not even 100% yet, and yet she scored 5 goals in the last 2 matches. So excited to see what 100% looks like.
Yeah,
I mean, if you remember
exactly.
last year, we kind of have an idea, but she's just an incredible player, and you can see so many people look up to her.
Again, the Current pressing. Beltran wins it back. Going to shoot it in near post. Sends it wide. Dozen more minutes in this opening half, and Current really no need to extend the lead, but I'm sure they'd like to make it even more of a party in the opener.
Yeah, you know, you see your teammates scoring goals, you want to be a part of that fun too.
Mm-hmm.
So just, again, trying to be smart, but also take your chance when you have that as well. Have the confidence to take a shot on goal, or, again, get yourself in the box for a deflection to then tap that in.
Clark able to win a throw on the far side for KC. Blaze to get it in to Haunts. Blaze feeds Clark. Lifts it. Cross does deflect off Wichita. Corner coming. Believe, no, it's a goal kick instead. Next match is going to be Wednesday for the Current. They play Sunflower State FC at Pembroke High School in Kansas City. Next home match is Saturday versus Union KC, 5 Central. Kickoff for that.
Wichita having to play those short goal kicks due to that wind. So, again, just making it a little bit harder to have to play it out of the back to try to move up the field.
Clark heads it on to Kafusi. Soro a touch. Cut back through the middle. That ends up coming off the woodwork as Ostrander was keeping eye there, but nearly snuck through.
Post doing her a little bit of a favor there.
Cross whipped in. Kafusi, the header, comes off the crossbar and out for a goal kick. Good ball, Kafusi, the height to get up to that. Almost put in number 6. Almost completed her hat trick. Frustrating mistouch by Andrada. Schofberger Kirshner. Stabbed away, but easy to retain possession. Kirshner. It's a heavy, heavy touch.
Great ball into Kafusi, though.
Soro gets dropped and gets the whistle. Soro, just 16 years old, from the Ivory Coast. He's had some command issues centrally so far. This one trickles through, and Kirshner blasts it away.
Booting that away. And that was a good build-up by Wichita. Quick little give and go. Again, looking like they were going to break past the defensive line of the Current, and Kirshner doing a great job of getting back as that outside back. You're that last defender and clearing it away.
Here's another break. It's Hans. This is 4-on-2 for the moment for KC. Hans. Clark cuts it back. Kafusi a touch. Hans onto her foot. Already a Beltran. Shielding Soro. Beltran. Hans. Hans pivots. Pirouettes.
Plays it
Henderson. All the way across.
Being able to make that turn like that in the 18-yard box is not easy at all. Having the confidence to do that. And again,
certainly
would like to see Wichita be a little bit more aggressive there. Not go too far in so she can turn quickly, but again, close enough to where she couldn't turn so easily to be able to get that shot. Correct me, not a shot on goal, but that pass in.
Did not see who that deflected off of, but a corner for the Current. This one played short to Hans. Now fancying the cross. And up for Kafusi, but a bit too high. Guides it out for a goal kick. Well, this has been, now in the final handful of minutes of this first half, a delightful first half for the Current. 5 goals. Kafusi 2, Clark 2, Hans 1. Here's Hans.
Sure, the fans are loving it.
Kafusi absolutely blasts it in, just standing
Fantastic finish.
and touches it in. That is a hat trick for Kafusi in the WPSL opener. And that was clinical, calm, composed, nonchalant. Find an adjective.
Exactly what you
Kafusi
want from your forward.
guides it in.
From Salt Lake City, Utah. Bringing her talents here to Kansas City. Kafusi, hat trick. Not even in, the first 40 minutes of the game?
Yeah. Currently in the 40th minute, and for Kafusi, clearly her size and presence has been a problem for FC Wichita. So has much of the technical ability of this KC squad. Plays calling for the throw. She gets it. Kafusi. Nicely weighted ball. Not quite good intervention by Eduarda Martins. Another corner coming. Henderson jogging over to take it.
And subs are another issue for Wichita today. Again, only 3 subs on that line. They've already made 2 subs. Actually, one of the 3 subs is a goalkeeper. And so, again, tired legs. Just having to push through. And, yeah, I'm sure they're hoping for halftime to get a reset and a break.
Henderson's corner. Low
Great ball
driven.
in.
Clark got a head to it. And already Beltran tried to volley it back into the fray. Out for another corner. Just deflecting off Abreu that time. pack of players head over to the flag. Hans, the short option, it seems.
Henderson
No.
making her way.
Hans will take the corner.
Henderson working her way back into the 18-yard box.
Hans, just a bit too far. As Schofberger was lurking back post. For FC Wichita, just want to escape this first half without giving up another in the final few minutes here. Maybe have one or two more positive ventures forward to take something away late.
Yeah, it can be hard to try to find what's working well. Hopefully, again, halftime's an opportunity for them to reset, refocus, and just try to play the best 45 minutes they can in that second half.
Well, for the second team, they mirror, as you said, a lot of what the first team does in terms of training, play style, matches, and the fully dedicated staff and this great development center. And they've certainly matched the quality so far of a professional squad, 6-0. They've looked great venturing forward.
Yeah.
They've punished the opportunities they've given themselves.
Couldn't agree more. Team led by coaches, goalkeeper coach Kyle Eno, assistant coach Mallory Weber, and head coach Vasil Ristov. Kudos to them in the leadership and the work that they've done for this team.
Trying to be helped on to Clark by Kafusi. Ostrander can send it away for now. FC Wichita managed by Blake Shoemaker on the other side. Blaze heads it down. Hans to Schofberger. Hans the vision to Kirshner. These passes spreading out and making FC Wichita work. This is basically a handoff to Kirshner.
Current trying to just keep possession and wait till they find that open player to move up the field.
Kirshner was closing in on the defender that time. Had to get a quick touch to it, took a deflection. Anderson shields.
And again, the Current just making Wichita having to run around. When you don't have possession like that, it's essentially a game of chase, trying to get the ball back, and all that does is tire out the legs.
Fed to Blaze. Ventures forward. Vassar. Lots of space. One-time hit from Beltran. And sliding putter, the captain, to clear it for now. Hans. Kirshner.
Good job by the head referee getting out the way there.
In the 45th minute. Vassar. That ends up just out for Vassar, trying to get the cross in there.
We are approaching, again, end of the first half right here.
There is a whistle. 6 goals in the first frame for KC Current 2. Kafusi has a hat trick. Clark had the first 2. Hans has the remaining goal.
Referee has indicated the beginning of halftime. Your halftime
Thoughts,
score-
Sam, on this first half?
I
Dominant. They
mean,
looked
yeah,
great.
they're just-
And FC Wichita really had no options going forward.
Not at all. KC Current, again, building off of last week and their dominant performance against Minnesota Aurora. I would argue an even more dominant performance today. I mean, yes, the goals obviously show that, but I mean, no shots on goal for FC Wichita, really not in their attacking third at all. I think, again, our goalkeeper Williams touched the ball one time, and it was because they played it back.
Yeah.
So if I'm Wichita, I just want to try to reset and figure out what we can do. What are the small things that we can change? We know we're probably not going to come back and win this game, but what are some things that we can do to try to improve from the first half? Because, again, you just want to be able to say you played good for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's better than saying you played good for none. But, again, kudos to the Current and the first half, the dominant first half performance.
Yeah, dominant indeed. 6-0 into the break. Great showing through the first 45 for KC Current 2. We'll be back for the second half from Riverside Stadium in a moment. Welcome back to Riverside Stadium. KC current 2 with a 6-goal lead as we get rolling for the second half. Sam alongside Sam. And Sam, what did we think of that first half as FC Wichita move it forward a bit, but again, waste any opportunity?
I mean, again, just a total dominant performance on all sides of the field. I mean, again, yes, it was 6-0, and that's amazing that 6 goals were scored, but I've been so impressed with their attack and the way they've been able to high press this Wichita team, and again, just force them to make mistakes and just being in the right areas. A lot of goals were scored off of deflections and just being in the right place, and that takes, real accountability for the forwards to be putting themselves in the right place and making those runs regardless of if they're unsure they're going to get the ball. But yeah, excited to see them continue to build this in the second half.
The first 2 goals off the foot of Clark. Hans had 1. She's charging with the ball right now. Vassar. Opportunity to cross. Hans back onto it. And Kafusi had the first half hat trick to round out the 6. Vassar. Cuts it by Martins. Ends up getting leveled by Putter, the captain, who went to help her up, but walked away.
She said, "I'm good. Just give me a minute."
(6-0) in the WPSL Heartland Division opener. Oklahoma City FC won this division last year. There's 2 Oklahoma clubs in the division, 4 Kansas clubs this season. And the Current on their way to starting 1-0. That took a deflection. So another corner coming.
Interested to see if they end up utilizing Heredia Beltran at some point for the short corner option. They set it up every time just as an option, but haven't done that yet.
This one played all the way through. Free for Schoafberger. Lifts it into the side netting.
From this angle, couldn't tell if it was going in or not.
So both teams did make a change at goal. It's Katie Stoskopf in net now for FC Wichita, and Evie Vitali in net for the Current. Vassar guides it for a goal kick. Ostrander was the first half keeper for Wichita. Not her greatest outing, but had moments there where she did control things. And again, was just getting peppered as that back line got exploited time and time again.
Hard for a keeper to not, want to blame themselves. You see it's 6-0 and you can immediately think, oh, goalkeeper, but defense really wasn't helping her and giving her an extra layer of support. So unfortunate. Stauskope, the goalkeeper in right now for FC Wichita, is from Olathe, so just down the road, and currently a junior at Missouri Western State.
We mentioned 4 Wichita natives in the Wichita squad. Here's Blaze to Hans. Well, Skylar Blaze has been great as the right back today. From San Jose, California, just graduated from Louisiana Monroe, where she was the Sun Belt Player of the Year in 2025. 14 goals. That was a single season record for the program. Also holds the record for the most career points with 59 over her entire career there.
And for a backline, really crucial to have a consistent player like Blaze who can play 90 minutes and can really keep that ball under control and help find the forwards, move the ball to the attacking third.
Kirshner awarded a throw. Dangerous cross, and it just trickles all the way through. Still in play. Here's the chase. Blaze providing it. Blaze gets around her cross, and that is stabbed down. Stoskov.
And a great ball in by Blaze. That's a hard angle to whip that ball across. She was pretty far out wide, close to that corner kick.
Yeah, did well to create an angle for that.
And again, just showing the attacking mindset that the Current has. Outside backs being able to...
Shot from range down to the foot of Vassar. Slid through. It's Clark, and it's a 7th. Avery Clark with the hat trick today. Second player with a hat trick, joining Kafusi for the Current. And they get their first second half goal fairly early.
Great composure from Clark. Cool, calm, collected. Saw the ball being played into her. Just tapped that ball right where the goalie was on the far right-hand side. Looked at that far post, saw it was open, and just essentially looked like she passed it in. I'm sure it was a little bit more than that, but
yeah.
She made it look pretty easy.
Current have made a lot of things look easy so far. 7-0.
KC Current 2 goals scored by number 84, Avery Clark, in the 50th minute.
Clark, remember, had the first 2 goals of this match inside 4 minutes. Hans intercepts. Clark again. Cuts it across, and it's a tap-in 8th. Another goal to celebrate.
Goal KC Current 2.
I believe that was Heredia Beltran.
Yep. Just checking that. Indeed it is. Thought she might be involved in a goal in this second half. Threatened in the first half, and she gets one there. A selfless play by Clark to provide goal number 8. So just 6 minutes elapsed in this second half, and the Current already have 2 more.
Heredia Beltran just open, wide open essentially. Clark able to identify her and pick her out and play her in, and the rest is history. Just tap, again, looking like another just tap in.
You mentioned a couple of KU commits on this squad. Beltran, one of them.
Indeed. Hackler, the other. Hackler from Olathe, Kansas. Again, not too far down the road. Heredia Beltran from Shawnee Mission. So again, not just down the road. So
there's a shot from range. Bit of pace behind that.
Couple of local
from Brewer. Again, Hackler had a first half goal disallowed. It's offside. Scored last week in the final exhibition match as well. Again, that exhibition season from March to early May, 18-3 aggregate score for the KC Current 2 squad. Hans, been a bona fide threat all afternoon. It's dumped there, gets a whistle. Decent area here. See who takes it. Just a dreamy start to this WPSL campaign. Mentioned their second full campaign in the WPSL 2022, the last time they were a part of the league. 110, drew 1, perfect 8-0 in the Heartland Division.
Kirshner setting up for this.
Kirshner takes aim. That one just directed right at the new second half keeper.
Kirshner with that left foot, driving the ball, curving in straight on goal. Looked like she just shot it rather than trying to play it in. Would have been curious to see if we had someone taking it with their right foot, curving that ball back in for forwards, midfielders to get on the end of that.
You could see the help of the wind there. This second half now, Wichita FC with the wind at their back, which helps a bit. That took that goal kick all the way across.
Yeah, don't have to adjust on that side, play short corners, can play the ball up the field, see how far it goes.
Wichita looking to build up. Just haven't had much quality, any sort of build-up play. Beltran hounding there. Kirshner can collect it for the throw. 8 goals, 2 in the second half. Gafusi with a hat trick, Clark with a hat trick.
And Sam, at 8-0, it's important that the Current continue to just play the way that they've been playing. Don't need to change anything. Don't need to take off the brakes. Again, keep possession, but no sense in slowing down the pace of the game or changing who they are. Just staying complacent and being able to move the ball around just like they have. Great confidence by Gemelli, taking it from that defensive third and taking on a couple of players to try to play that ball into the attacking third.
Certainly that wind helping again to clear the ball all the way down.
A couple dangerous bounces.
Mm-hmm. Schoefberger is standing upright.
Again, at 8-0, you don't want to give up a goal. Want to stay clean, strong. All sides of the field.
Little predicament there for Vitali. And KC dispossessed. There's a shot that is quite harmless off the foot of Rios.
Rios' body facing wide right, which is why when the ball left her foot, it went so far. Tried to get her foot around and leg around, but again, very far wide right.
And for Wichita, just seemingly taking what's there and not really creating anything new. Howard. Abreu cannot contest.
And that's hard when a team forces you to have to figure out how to play. You're not able to play your game in the way you're used to. Having to adjust can be very difficult for a team who likely hasn't had a lot of time together.
A little bit of life for Wichita up the right side. This one poked across, too heavy of a touch. Rios will collect and keep it in. Rios gets by Hans. Still through here for Rios. Only as far as Abreu the clearance, and that ends up deflecting out for a corner. So FC Wichita build something to just smile about.
Yeah, sequence of events right there. It's probably the most dangerous they've been this entire match so far.
And Abreu will take this corner. Wind blowing right back at her, and that's going to beat up the ball and ends up curling behind the net. Really might be the only menacing chance in this second half. Gone to waste for FC Wichita.
Unfortunate. You never want to waste a set piece. Didn't even give your team an opportunity to get something on it. It's a hard one.
Brewer was charging. Clark wins it. Beltran. Shielded out there, trying to take it. Well, FC Wichita on their way to a loss in their opening match of this campaign. Finished 4th among 6 clubs last year. 6 clubs in the division this year. Collected 12 points last season. Oklahoma City FC mentioned topped the table. 33 goals for, 5 against. Pretty good showing for them. Immediately Kansas breaking the other way off the goal kick. Vassar chases to the corner flag. Martins jockeys for it and wins it. Good leave, good turn, but Gemelli, the captain, can pick it up and put him right back on the attack. Gemelli takes aim. That's right at Stoskop.
Gemelli with the confidence again from the back line, seeing an open space and just taking it and giving herself a chance on goal. The birthday girl wants a goal, I guess.
It's a poor touch, and the Current break again. Beltran off the back foot of Gomez. And even when things loosen up for KC, FC Wichita just can't reach the ball. It's a push and a free kick. As Kirshner got dropped. And Brewer will play it short. Schofberger and Gemelli.
Current deciding to play short there to again stretch the field.
Hans zigzagging. Plays it off for Clark.
Good decision by Clark to play it back and try to open up for more space.
Hans. Ooh, slick turn, Hans. Easy save for Stoskop. And using that wind again on the goal kick.
Can see the difference in the first half to the second half and how that wind's helping them get the ball into the attacking third.
There's Rios grabbing the shirt of Blaze, who did well to dispossess. Brewer to Clark. Vassar was the target of that pass. Howard just outclassed again. Vassar has options centrally. Beltran at the back post. Clark at the edge of the area trying to win it and keep it in play. Schofberg with a nice touch into space. One on Beltran. So a perfect start so far for KC Current 2 in the Heartland Division. This is the opener for the division, 28th WPSL season. Started back on May 4th, culminates in late July as Current will likely be able to make a deep run. Reach the Central Region Final in 2022. That was their last full WPSL season. 150 cities, 40 states represented, 2 divisions as well. And more than 180 teams this year. Largest women's soccer league in the world and longest continuously running league in North America. 1998 was when it began. The Current off to a perfect start, breaking here, little 3-on-2. Vassar pokes it down. And just a harmless shot in the end. Stoskov could make the stop.
Vassar a sub on from the second half on that right-hand wing side, trying to make her impact very early on.
Actually a pretty classy touch from Darby Howard there to get it down for FC Wichita. Edwards escapes trouble. Martins. Beltran intercepts. Beltran just gliding here. It's 4-on-2 as a lot of that defensive support just drops off for FC Wichita, and in the end it's wasted.
And as you could see, Vassar on that right-hand side working to make her way in to that left-hand side for Beltran to play the ball in. Just a little bit of a miscommunication there, but good job by Vassar identifying that changing the lane would potentially get her the ball at her feet
Rios onto it. He's been maybe one of the more creative minds for Wichita in the second half. Blaze shielding. And it is a corner in the end.
And still being really aggressive in that attacking third. Anytime the ball is near her, she's really working to try to keep the ball or win the ball back. And that can be really hard to do when you're down by such a large deficit. So kudos to her and some of the team who's still fighting, trying to get the pieces put together to get something positive going here.
Corner from Abreu. That's a difficult one to deal with. Pawed away by Vitali.
A great save by Vitali. Being a dominant force back there and getting her hand on that to swipe it away.
One hops back to her. Such a great exhibition schedule for KC, and they've now turned the corner into the WPSL season smoothly. 8-0. Beltran on the chase. Not going to be able to get there.
Ball
Second half
in.
goal for Beltran.
That ball was played in by Brewer. Brewer also another sub that came on here in the second half.
Putter tried to clear it. Came off the body of current player and luckily went straight back to Stoskov. That wind again just carrying the ball all the way through, and Schoefberger could allow Vitali to pick that up. Beltran. It's up slipping.
Yeah, if I'm Stauskop, I'm maybe looking to play those kicks diagonally to maybe get the ball out of bounds for a throw-in in that attacking third rather than getting it to the goalkeeper and then again them playing it out of the back in KC Current having possession yet again.
Wichita make a change. Rios is off, who's frankly looking quite good in attack. And Worley was the one stepping in. Blaze, recent Louisiana Monroe graduate, to Hans, the Florida commit. Not a lot of thought behind that little chip forward after taking her space.
Didn't really have an open player there. Again, just continue to take that space and kind of shut down the lanes for the forwards to be able to play any of that into.
Beltran wins another KC throw. Pretty warm day, just above 80 degrees, but the cloud cover does help. And again, that wind ripping violently. Hackler shut down by Putter, the captain. Edwards up to Abreu. It's a clean intervention there from Schoefberger. Brewer to Hans. Just dancing around Abreu in the midfield.
Great poise by Schoefberger. Winning that ball.
Great bit of pace and use of space by Beltran. That's into the side netting as the angle was cut off.
And as an outside back, when you're making those runs, an outside forward making those runs in, and you want to try to play that ball in the middle between the 6-yard box and that PK spot. That's kind of the gold standard spot to be able to play it back. Again, it creates a good angle for those forwards and midfielders running in to then be able to tap that ball back into the net.
Kari Hans is the one being taken off here. Kirschner to take this corner. It's Chelsea Wagner, the replacement on in the box here. This is punched straight up, and Hackler ends up rising to header it out. So Hans gets a well-deserved rest after a quality outing.
Indeed. Excited to see Wagner come in off the bench, Mississippi State graduate, and see what she can bring.
So Hans finishes with a goal. One of the 8 total so far. Helped onto the foot of Vassar. This one's played low, driven out, and sent away for another corner, this time from the near side for KC. Brooklyn Robbins that time involved with the attack. Class of 2029. Again, a lot of youth on both sides.
Yeah, just a great opportunity for these subs and maybe players who aren't getting to see as much of the field get the opportunity to get on the pitch and make an impact and get those minutes in to continue building their confidence.
No short option. Driven low, edge of the area. Blaze drives it through, hoping for a deflection on its way to goal. Still free, deflects in. It comes off Brooklyn Robbins in the end. There's a 9th goal. Just mentioned Robbins involved in the attack that generated the corner and ends up generating the goal off a fortunate deflection.
That play started with Blaze getting that ball in, seeing that there was an opportunity for her. Ball went past the defenders, causing goalkeeper to have to make a save. And again, the right people in the right place and just continuing to get that ball around. It's kind of like chaos in a goal corner kick like that, but great job by Robbins. The composure to put that ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, chaos, I think, the right way to describe that. And a goal for the substitute Robbins.
We used to play a game when I was playing in college, and it was literally called chaos. And it consisted of different corner kicks or different penalty kick spots around that 18-yard box. Someone played it in, and we were all in there trying to fight and get the ball in the goal. And it really was chaos. It was. I didn't even really enjoy playing it because you might get hurt. But it definitely prepared me for set pieces.
Well, here comes a set piece.
Corner
It'll be
kicks.
a corner for Wichita. Couple of corners in this second half for FC Wichita. I haven't done anything with them. Most recent one from Abreu, who's going to be taking this one, went behind the goal.
Some of these corner kicks coming from their second half friend, the Wind.
Lifted in, and a strong, confident header away by Schoefberger. It's a miscontrol. Breaking here, 2-on-1, nobody back. 3 red shirts forward. Beltran looking for a second, and she gets it. Slides it through. Menacing attack, and nothing that Stoskopf in net could really do there. Just all the way through, and Beltran with her second of the day, and that is now double digits for the Current in their WPSL opener.
And that play started with a defender of Wichita losing the ball 1v1. And they're the last line of defense, so when that happens, Heredia Beltran just seeing a wide open field and a field day for her to take that ball down, take on the keeper 1v1 and just slot it in the back of the net.
Soro is back on the pitch. Number 8 in the midfield for Wichita FC. Here's Brewer.
Goal scored by number 50, Alexa Rediavelchi.
Came off the bench in the second half. Been a technically sound player so far in the midfield. Gemelli, the captain. Birthday today.
Can't really ask for a better birthday, a win,
Not really, yeah.
many goals. It's a beautiful Sunday.
Kirshner was on the move. Beltran touched out via throw for Wichita.
Entering the match for FC Wichita, number 8, Marion Soro, and number 24, Jimena Rios.
Been a lot of exciting action over the past couple of weeks here in Kansas City for women's soccer.
No doubt, yeah. And of course, I mean, moving forward, you got the World Cup in June.
Very, very excited for that one. Again, men's FIFA World Cup. Kansas City, a host site, hosting also 3 teams. Home base
Yep.
in Lawrence, not too far down the road, about 45 minutes, also hosting a team as well.
Yep, Algeria will be there.
Kansas City home bases are Netherlands, England, and I believe Argentina, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And again, to build on that, the teams using, I believe it's the Netherlands utilizing CPKC Stadium and the KC Current facilities for their training bases. Just another reason to show you that, you know, teams at the highest level are choosing KC Current and their facilities to be their home at the biggest stage in the world. Just goes to show you all the awesome facilities and investment that this place has made.
Certainly want to mention Kirshner just got taken off. Looks to be Henderson back on for KC. Yeah, I mean, this whole pathway program is, in some ways, revolutionary. And again, these facilities are magnificent. Over $50 million put into infrastructure. And this Riverside Stadium, the most recent development, 2,000-seat venue, performance center adjacent to it.
And just down the road from CPKC Stadium.
Yeah. And the current second team right now on full display, 10-0 in the 78th minute here. Wagner that time covers her face after playing that to nobody. Well, as you look ahead for KC, Wednesday they take on Sunflower State FC at Stadium Field at Pembroke High School in KC. And then their next home match, Saturday, 5 Central, Union KC is who they will face. And then after that, they take a break from WPSL action. At the end of May, they will compete at the soccer tournament, TST, in North Carolina, 7v7 tournament. Their second consecutive year being a part of that. Went 1-2 last year in the group. They've got a tough group this year. Group A, U.S. Women, who've won the last 2, defended their crown last year. Club America and Sportive FC are the 3 in their group. All those matches will be streamed on the TST YouTube channel. May 28th and the 29th doubleheader for group play. Searching for an 11th. That's slid away by Martins for a corner.
And let's not forget the biggest part of that TST. The winner will go home with a $1 million prize.
Yes.
I mean,
yep.
It's hard
That's what they're playing for.
$1 million, I mean, that's a lot of money right there. Can go towards the organization.
They won't be facing a team like FC Wichita, but certainly the way they've looked today can compete heavily in North Carolina at the end of May. And May 28th, it's Sportive FC at 6:15 Central. That's headed in. It's Brewer. The substitute gets a second half goal. And it's 11-0 KC. Starting to get hard to track who scored what goals.
I know.
That was the case in the first half. It's been made even more difficult in this second half, nearly doubling their advantage. 6 in the first, 5 in the second, and 80 minutes gone at Riverside Stadium.
Brewer midfielder recruiting class of 2029. Ranks 3rd overall in the 2029 recruiting class for players in Missouri and Kansas. She was a part of the U15 ECNL Midwest All-Conference first team. And in 2024 was invited to the U.S. Youth National Team ID Center. So, young talent.
Yeah, a lot of the talent on this KC squad has ties to the youth national teams, getting call-ups.
What a privilege to have these players right here in front of us, being able to watch greatness develop.
Decent link-up play by Wichita, but Blaze intervened. Last touch by Vassar. Eduardo Martins. Big workload today, the left back. Brewer has the most recent goal, lays it off nicely to Wagner. Beltran returns it to Henderson. Glides into the area. Henderson shimmies across. It's a dozen. And it's a ×2 in the second half. 12 goals. Pouring it on. Another easy tap in. When it breaks like that, just traffic cones really for FC Wichita back to defend.
I mean, you're seeing pure athleticism and endurance really just taking over here.
Believe that was Robbins again.
And again, some of these goals are not supposed to look as easy as they are.
I think Hackler is the one with that goal. Correction. The goal disallowed in the first half. Offside. And that time, easy tap in for her first.
As we mentioned before, Hackler, KU commit from the KC Metro area, keeping her talents here locally. And as a Jayhawk myself, I'm very excited to have her a part of the squad there.
Brewer. As KC build up here, Wagner plays it back to Vitali. So it's going to be a perfect start for KC. And what is currently a +12 goal difference in the table. Heartland Division opener. It's been lopsided. Good link-up play between Hackler and Henderson. That's dragged wide by Hackler. For Wichita, again, not much has changed in this second half. Identical number of goals conceded, and just a couple of set pieces that they haven't threatened with. Flicked onto Howard. Edwards. Decent touch to elude Gemelli momentarily.
And if you're watching from home today or wherever you may be located, so again, there's plenty of opportunities this summer to bring you and family, friends out to Riverside Stadium for a game.
You can see a lot of goals. Here's a little chip forward from Brewer as Hackler was leading the charge.
Tickets can be purchased at the gate. And yeah, this team will put on a show for you, that's for sure.
Heroic little touch by Schoefberger. Edwards collapses. Gemelli can't quite win it, though, as Schoefberger is on the ground jostling for that. KC seeing out these final few minutes. 12-0 domination.
Can't tell you the last time, Sam, I watched a game that was 12-0.
I don't think I've ever seen a game finish 12-0. Could always be more.
I watched the women's national team once play, cannot remember the country. They won 13-0.
There was a whistle as Rios was dropped and a yellow card for Wagner. See if Wichita FC can salvage something.
The Current will be back at Riverside Stadium in less than a week.
Yep, Union KC.
Next Saturday at 5 p.m. Memorial Day weekend. Again, another great opportunity to bring you, your fam, the friends out to Riverside Stadium. We've gotten pretty lucky these past couple of games with beautiful weather in the Midwest. You never know what you're going to get, but
I'd say a little windy today, but
windy for sure, but nice warm weather. Good atmosphere for the fans.
Putter drives that with some pace, ends up smashing into the net of the smaller goal.
Card has been issued by the referee to KC Current 2, number 67, Chelsea Wagner.
Less than 3 minutes left. And KC again, just whistle to whistle domination. They'll start this WPSL campaign flawlessly.
It's hard to pick who would be my player of the game. It's been so many dominant performances. How do you choose one?
It's a good point. A lot of goal scorers, that's for sure. This is it out for a throw, deep, the Wichita end. And Kafusi for the first half had the hat trick. Clark's got a hat trick as well. And you have your pick, really. If you're just going by goal total, those would be the two.
Yeah,
though.
hard not to call them the players of the game, maybe co-players of the game. As a hat trick.
Here's Gemelli. Venturing forward, lays it off. Another chance, and that shot frustratingly missed. Robbins that time, one-on-one, just drags it to the left. A little more window dressing left for KC before they wrap up and take the win.
Looks like that's going to do it.
That is the full-time whistle. Stopping a bit early, but nothing would have changed. 12-0, the final. KC Current 2 dismantle FC Wichita, and they start in the Heartland Division 1-0. Again, in 2022, their last full campaign, they won 10, drew 1, and a perfect start, more than perfect, a dozen goals in the opener at Riverside Stadium. They'll be on the road Wednesday in KC to face Sunflower State FC, and then back home, as Sam said, on Saturday, 5 Central kickoff against Union KC right here on YouTube. You can catch the stream, and then the TST tournament late May they'll take a break from WPSL action. All those games are available on YouTube as well. Final thoughts on this match. Biggest takeaway was the fact that they scored 12 goals. Kafusi had a hat trick. Clark had a hat trick. Beltran had 2. Hackler had a couple. Brewer coming in off the bench had 1. Hans had 1. She facilitated through the middle, though, if you want to highlight a player.
I think for me, Sam, the biggest thing is that, you go up so many goals in the first half, it could be easy to just kind of play like whatever and, that's not what they're trying to do here. Again, they're trying to play 90 minutes of soccer, their style, continuing to work on the small things that you need to work on. Again, just really proud of this team and the performance that they put out today. Excited to see what's in store for them this season. And I mean, like you said, hard to be more perfect than that. 12 goals in the back of the net, giving some of these players some confidence, maybe getting their first goal of this with this team. And yeah, I'm excited to be back here next Saturday to watch them in action here at Riverside Stadium at 5 p.m.
Well, all 3 points belong to KC Current 2, an even split. 6 goals in the first half, 6 goals in the second half. That'll be it from Riverside Stadium for now. As for Sam Palomino, I'm Sam Johnson saying so long. Thanks for tuning in. KC Current 2 win it 12-0.